we've got ourselves the crux of the podcast here. I didn't think, well, for some reason I didn't think we'd be talking this long, but look who I'm talking to.
You fool! You fool! Tell you.
We've got
The only reason our radio show runs to time is because I've got a clock in front of me telling me how much time there is.
Yeah, very true. And even then we run over.
Sometimes, yeah, but that's never my fault.
Oh, it's never your fault, no.
It's never my fault.
We've got ourselves a little bit of a game here. Little silly buggers, a bit of fantasy booking. Bit of fantasy booking. It is the indies versus the majors. The majors being New Japan, AEW, WWE. If you want Impact, I haven't, but
no,
if
I've
you
not
want,
either. I've stuck it very much AEW or WWE, if I'm honest.
So have I. I'm not going to put any. I haven't put any New Japan in purely because I don't know enough.
Yeah, well.
Don't know enough about New Japan to get it to put it down
Thing
to
is, I would
act
watch-
like I do.
I would watch more New Japan, but it's just another subscription thing to pay for.
It's not
innit?
easy to actually sit there and try and keep up. It's not easy when you're over in the UK.
Yeah, I mean they have got their on-demand stuff, but again, it's another thing to subscribe.
It's
for. I've already
another
got
subscription.
Netflix and Amazon and WWE Network. And...
Yeah. Future Shocks on demand. It's only £4. But
right, yeah, but still, it's another one to chuck on there that adds up.
Yeah.
There's so many subscription services these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When Netflix did it, it was like, oh, that's really cool. On demand, all in one place. Yeah, now everyone's on
then
it.
there's everything. Then there's this and there's network. And
Disney. And,
you just need to. Every time there's a subscription, you need to weigh everything up. Like, okay, I got this. Oh, now I've got something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah. But anyway, I'll run you through the matches we're gonna lay out. We've got a men's singles, women's singles, tag match, mixed tag, hardcore match, cruiserweight match, and main event.
Main event.
Main event. And since you're the guest, I'd allow you to go first. Let's get cracking.
All right, where we starting? Men's singles.
Men's singles. What have you got?
Men's singles, right. I've gone from the world of British wrestling. I'm opening up with Sonny Durson.
Oh, cracking open.
And he's going to be taking on the Architect, Seth Rollins.
Oh.
I don't know why. There's just something about those two that I think would be just. I think they just their styles would complement each other. I think they'd have a really good match.
100%. I've got Sonny a little later on.
Yeah.
I've got him a little later on.
In my men's singles, but yeah.
That's that is that's one. You see, I thought about Seth. I've not got him in here, but I thought about him.
It was hard because it's easy not used. On both sides. I was like, there was people I wanted to kind of put in, and I'm like, well, I don't know where.
There were so many. I was scrolling through the rosters of each show. I was like, how do you even put half of these people in? Now, my men's single is very different to yours, but then again, quite similar too. Chris Ridgway versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would just be great.
I mean, there's not much to say about it, is there? It'd just be a great match.
It really would be.
It's one of the matches. One of the matches that I do want to see that we're most likely not going to see with AJ retiring soon.
Yeah, he's he's
could go in the Indies.
Maybe, but if he's going to retire, if he's on about retiring soon, he might as well retire at the top.
Yeah. And he's probably going to stick with WWE as a producer or something backstage.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Won't surprise me at all either. I mean, the man is one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots.
Yeah.
It goes undisputed in my opinion. He
is fantastic. No doubt about
that. He's one of my favourites. I mean, back in when TNA was on Challenge, and I'd watch TNA weekly, and I loved AJ back then. Yeah, so did I.
So I remember AJ wrestling for TNA when it first started, when they were doing the pay-per-views, but we got on for free on the wrestling channel, which was short-lived, but
always short-lived. But he's just
phenomenal. That's what it is. He's
It's
great.
true. He's one of the ones where the nickname truly does live up to
Yeah.
the wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
truly phenomenal. Women's singles.
Women's singles. I've gone for Alexis Falcon.
Ooh,
So I just think she's a really good talent,
she's
but
phenomenal. She is fantastic.
I think her style would match really well with the opponent that I've gone for. I think they'd have a really good, tough match, and I've gone for Oscar.
Asuka.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't think about that one.
I think that Alexis might be ready for Oscar.
Do you reckon?
I know nobody's ready for Oscar, but Alexis might be. I just think Oscar's one of those. I mean, I feel like, as daft as it sounds, she gets overlooked a little bit. Even
She's a weird one,
She's
isn't she?
so good.
She's a weird one
She's
because
so
when you
good.
think of great women's wrestlers, I think you might be right. She does kind of fall by the wayside a little bit, but you look at her and you think there's nothing bad
And I like the
about
style
her.
she works. She works a tough,
She looks
rough,
legit,
gritty style, and she does look legit. And
but she's
I like
fun at the
that.
same time. She can do
Yeah,
comedy too.
yeah. She can do a bit of fun, and I think that they'd have a great. I think they'd have a great
During
time.
the let's be honest, during the lockdown era, let's be honest, she was one of the MVPs. For
Mm.
the women, it was Asuka and Bailey. Bailey for me
Yeah.
was the woman of.
Did think about Bailey. I did think about Bailey.
She's the woman of 2020, in my opinion.
Yeah,
She,
yeah. Oh yeah.
ding
She
dong.
was.
Oh, it goes straight to your core, that, but in the best way.
Oh yeah, no. Her heel turn. I didn't think that'd work, and
She's made it her own, hasn't she?
oh, fantastic! Arguably
Amazing.
better as a heel. Than
Oh
as a
yeah.
hugger.
Oh yeah.
And I loved her as a hugger.
So did I. I'm a sucker for a babyface. I'm a sucker
I mean,
for an
honestly,
underdog.
I was genuine. I think a little bit of my wrestling fandom died when she butchered the Bailey buddies.
I loved it. I loved it
I
because
did,
I
but there was
think
just
it
a part of me
needed
that
to
was
be
like,
done.
oh. I mean,
It's one of
maybe
those things that needed.
I think part of it is because I just love wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. They're just so much fun. They're just so silly.
Yeah, it was a perfect added to the hugger
Yeah.
gimmick, but I think it needed to be done.
Yeah, you could.
was-
Yeah,
It
pointless
needed,
just getting
they
rid of. You
needed to
couldn't
take
just
them
get rid of
away,
them
but they
without
needed
a
a
reason
way
to
to
take
take
them
them
away.
away.
Yeah. So
You couldn't
have her
just
come out
stop it.
and split them all.
Yeah, it was
Watching
brilliant.
them go, ooh, yeah.
The look on Charlotte's face in the ring, she was just like, really? Because she looked like a petulant child, didn't she?
Yeah.
Bailey looked like a petulant child, so Charlotte's just like,
It worked
really?
really well. The entire thing worked really well.
It was brilliant.
And I was just
Yeah,
like, after seeing her do the hugger thing for so long, I was like, is this going to work? Is she going to be able to pull off being a heel? And
yeah,
knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely knocked it out of the
Absolutely
park.
knocked it out of the park.
But Alexis versus Asuka, it's
Great.
one match I didn't think of, but it's a match I now want to see. It's definitely a match I want to see.
You
She's
never know.
fantastic.
And we've still got time, maybe, just about to see
I think Asuka's another
never
one as
know.
well, though. I think Asuka's another one. She's creeping up to retirement now, I think.
But we'll see.
A good few years yet, but
Yeah.
she's getting there, I think. Unfortunately, because she's just so good. I have gonna let it out of the box.
Okay.
Lizzie Evo versus Shotzi Blackheart.
Interesting.
Because Lizzie Evo is one of the greatest heels you can see. She's got the gift of gab perfectly. She doesn't shut up, and I think that's brilliant. I just think Shotzi is such just when she's on screen for me, I just smile. With me personally, I just smile seeing Shotzi.
I like a good heel face dynamic, and I think that would be a very interesting way to put that across.
I don't think it's one you'd usually think of, but
and you're right with Lizzie. She's got that.
Yeah. She knows if you say something to her, she's right back with a comment.
Yeah, and I like that.
Fantastic.
I like that.
She's brilliant. I as a person, I love her too. But overall, I just think Lizzie's amazing. Lizzie for me in the women's match was a mainstay. She was the first person. Boom, there you go. It was just her opponent to struggle with, and I struggled. I rummed and ahhed because I was gonna put Toni Storm, but they've teamed up in their history twice. So I was like,
Yeah.
we've seen it.
Well,
Pick
that's it. Now
someone
the
who
British
we
wrestling
haven't seen.
scene is getting more opportunity to do, to get into WWE and stuff. It's like you want to put people together, and then you're like, hang on, has that already happened? I don't want to be throwing together matches that have happened 3 or 4 times.
Exactly. And Shotzi's wrestling style is amazing. She has one of the best entrances in wrestling right now with her tank. Her tank is awesome. I love her tank. Anybody who says otherwise is wrong. I love her.
Anybody coming out of the tank is a winner.
Exactly.
Just ask Rusev.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, that for me, I'm happy with that match.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that.
Tag team match. I'm intrigued.
Tag team match. We've bigged them up already, but I've gone Young Guns for the British side of things, and against FTR or the Revival, whichever you want to refer to them as.
I was gonna put
Snug,
FTR in mine.
Snug, technically great. That'd be a cracking match.
Mm.
That'd be drama filled. It'd be tough. It'd be legit.
Yeah.
It'd tick every box basically for me.
I was gonna put FTR in mine, but I didn't. So thank God I didn't, because I want them to be as different as possible. That's an interesting one. So I had an idea you'd pick Young Guns, which is why I didn't.
All right, okay.
I didn't, because I wanted to go as
far
from the norm as I could.
Between 2 for me.
Ooh, who would the other one be?
Bad Lads.
No, wouldn't have been any man.
Drill and Mickey Barnes with Big Guns Joe just alongside, giving it the mouth, because they're just as heels go, they're just so much fun, and they're just so easy to boo, and good old fashioned, over the top, fun family show heels, cracking stuff. It's always good giving Drill a shout out because he's my booker man.
Great guy.
Great guy. Yeah, he's a good lad.
We used to go to the same gym, so it's always interesting in walking by. It's like, all right, pal.
Just started doing
Twitch. He is, yeah. He is.
You can also see him on TikTok with his Pokemon cards going around, which drives his wife insane.
Yeah, shout out to Drill. I've gone for Made to Last versus Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
Ah, yes, a little bit of SCU.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've been a tag team for a long, long time.
Long time. I've always said this.
Cracking.
Always.
Chris Daniels.
Always said Christopher Daniels is one of the best talents to never go to WWE. And I maintain that to this day.
I saw Chris Daniels in the early 2000s in Horwich Leisure Centre. On an FWA card.
Hell. Mental. Absolutely
mental. And he was
mental.
great. And there was must have only about, there was under 100 people there, I'd imagine.
Incredible guy, though. What a talent.
Oh, he didn't.
He's such a talent.
He put on a show. He was great, yeah. He was still doing the Fallen Angel gimmick at the time.
Well, I love that gimmick when I'd watch him on TNA. I watched them live. Years and years ago, I was in Florida, and it is a story. I was in Florida. It sounds like I'm making it up, but it is just the maddest coincidence. The barmaid there, the bar lady, was the current girlfriend of Devon Dudley, who was currently in TNA, and she told us about TNA that was filming free in Orlando, Florida.
Studios. Yeah.
So we went and watched. I've watched TNA live twice. We went watching them, and he was there, Christopher Daniels. And he's captivating in every way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He might not be the biggest guy, but he draws your attention. He so draws your attention. He's brilliant.
He is incredible. And
yeah, no, a lot of time for Christopher Daniels as a
100%
talent, because I do.
And of course, Made to Last, amazing tag teams, amazing. Leon Gray is so good. Last time I watched him, I believe, was Fighting Spirit.
Leon Gray is another guy who's just a spot on fella.
Amazing person.
I've got a lot of time for him. A lot of
So have
time for
I.
him. He's a
So
really
have
nice
I.
dude.
Works for the NHS in
He
Bolton.
does. He
Sometimes
does.
on the phone to my mum because they'll be working at the same time. So he's an amazing
He
person.
went on that. He did that massive sponsored walk as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cracking guy.
He's always one of the first to like and retweet my videos when they come out, and it's just massive. Always got time for the man. Always got time
Yeah,
for
no,
the
he's
man.
a cracking fella,
Yeah.
no doubt there.
Mixed tag.
Mixed tag, yes. I have gone for now. I wasn't sure who to, because I said like, when we were talking about this, we said like mixed tag, but they've got to have a reason to be put in a mixed tag. It's not just a who've you got left over, chuck them in. I struggled on the big, on the WWE AEW side of things here.
Didn't do too bad with this one, I'm quite proud of
my British side, like my WWE AEW side was like I proper struggled. So I just
I'm quite proud of mine, so let's hear it.
So it is a bit shoehorny, but they do have a reason. So my UK wrestling side is the Austins.
Of course.
Lee and Lana, LA Austin and Lana Austin, brother and sister duo. I do believe they are still the current reigning GPW Tag Team Trophy champions. The last show I went to before lockdown happened was a GPW show. I'm sure they still got the titles, but it was that long a bloody go that they might have lost them and I've forgotten. But I'm pretty sure they've still got the titles there. But Lee's probably I say to people when I talk about LA Austin, he's probably the best. He's probably the best wrestler you've never seen because he doesn't work that many places. I think he does GPW and I think he does a bit of Mr. Katz. But he doesn't do many places. But I tell you,
there's a chance I've seen him because I've watched one Mr. Katz show live, so it's a chance I've seen him.
Well, if he put himself for me, if Lee put himself about to a lot of the companies, he'd be booked everywhere. But he's got a business and he's got a family, and he's one of those that I think he just does it. He does the bookings he wants to do because he enjoys doing it. But he's got other priorities. But frig me, the dude is just one of the best, man. And he's best swanton bomb I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh,
better than Jeff?
Easy. Oh, well better than Jeff. The turn. It's like he comes down and he's just plummeting head first at the mat, and then at the last minute he turns, and it's like I asked him about it once because he wanted one. I was like, honestly, you were like that far away from just plowing. He was like, yeah, no, he was too close. too close. I did all I could do, but it was just amazing. And he was out injured for a while, and he came back. And my mate Johnny went to shows and was like, "Oh, LA Austin's out," and he was like, "Oh, I don't think I've seen him here before." And he'd been to a lot of GPW, but it was when Lee had been out for a while because he did his knee quite badly. And I was like, "Trust me, you will not be disappointed." And at the end of the match, he was like, "He's mint him. He is really good in Jim," and he's a really nice guy as well. When Lana started training, I was training, and I worked with Lana a lot at the start of her training because I knew Lee, and Lee knew that I wasn't going to drop her on her head. So she worked with me basically almost exclusively for like 6 or 7 weeks. And in the end, they had to say, like, I feel like I'm holding you back now. You need to start working with other people so you can start developing more, because I loved working with her and it was great fun and we were doing some fun stuff. But I genuinely felt like I was starting to hold her back from developing because I could see then that there was something about Lana that she just had it.
She's one. The reason it was in 2017
well.
I started watching Future Shock Live. That's the first show. It was Pete Dunne was there, but Lana also, I knew about Lana, and she was one of the reasons why I wanted to go watching Future Shock, because I knew she was a mainstay there, and she's just amazing. She's so good.
You know that kind of spin around stunner thing she does as a finish? I was one of the first people to take that.
Really?
Yeah. because I was there on the day that she came up with it. Basically, she'd been working on it a little bit, and she
It's
was
like a
working with,
tilt-a-whirl stunner, isn't it?
yeah. She'd been
Yeah.
working on it obviously with Lee and with Ben, and I was like one of the first people that wasn't in that kind of little group.
Yeah.
To kind of be a guinea pig. And I was and Ben was determined for me to not take it on my knees like a stunner. But I was like, no, if you give me a couple more goes at that, I can nail it I can nail the cell like a proper on your knees stunner. And Ben was just like, no, just bend over kind of thing. I was like, no, I'll make it. If I can land on my knees and spring up though, it'll look sick. And eventually I did manage to nail it. And to be fair, Ben was like, yeah, fair enough. That did look pretty good.
The twist of fate has kind of been changed into a sort of stunner-esque sort of thing. I don't like it. No,
yeah. It's some stuff.
I
some
don't
stuff
like it.
suits, some stuff it doesn't. But yeah, no, that'd be mine. And against, I'm just waxing lyrical about the Austins, and I'm not. I'm not giving me big time team. I've gone up again. I put them in against Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Because I think that Daniel Bryan and Lee would absolutely be able to tear the house down, and I think that Lana could carry Brie. And I actually quite like Brie Bella. I've never had a major issue with Brie Bella.
She's the worst one of the two.
See, but originally though, I'd have said it was the other way around.
Nikki,
I've always seen Brie as the better worker.
A lot.
But
Nikki, I don't know. Nikki improved a lot.
I think they both did. I've always
prefer
liked
Nikki over Brie personally.
I prefer Brie's personality, and I think Brie was.
I prefer Brie's personality, 100%. But in ring, I'd say.
And I love the whole Brie mode thing.
Even talking, I'd just say overall, Nikki personally is better. Personally, but that's an interesting one. I didn't think about Daniel Bryan and Brie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, slightly shoehorned, but yeah, I think that'd be a really good. I think that'd be a really good match. Actually, I think they could do some really cool stuff together.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, I'd like that, and I find it funny how the indie wrestler be carrying the major main star wrestler, but I think you're 100% correct. It is Lana Austin.
Although, having said that, Lana was on NXT UK this last week. So
is she signed though?
I'm not sure. So
I'll let you off. I'll let you off.
Ambiguity. I thought, sod it.
I'll let you
off. Her anyway.
I won't say anything on that one
because I don't know whether it was just a one-off gig.
She has had a gig beforehand, hasn't she?
Yes, but that was a one shot, and I don't know whether this was a one shot as well. But I know she's working with Progress, so it might be. I hope it does.
I'd love her to be in NXT UK because she's one of the best. She truly is. I love her so much.
Another proper sweetheart.
Oh yeah, she's so nice. Nice.
Big time. Although there was that time she actually scratch her because there was that time she nicked me pint off me at GPW. When they won the tag team trophies, she just swiped me pint.
That's all my reason for me to love her.
Well, it might be for you. The mates were in absolute stitches, but she nicked my entire pint and poured it in the trophy.
I remember you telling me about that.
Oh, it's full pint, man. I mean, granted, we're at the Monaco, so it wasn't like it was dead expensive beers, but I go all the way back to the bar, man.
Oh no!
I know.
My heart bleeds. My heart bleeds. My heart bleeds. It's awful.
Pint swipes.
Lana, you've got a lot to answer for there.
But they spied me. She pointed and they came down and we like celebrated, like hey, high fives and that. And then all of a sudden, yoink! Oh, what can you do?
What can you do? Yeah, I mean, it's gone. It's done.
And exactly. Too late, then, isn't it?
Well. I mean, Lon, if you want to do it again, make sure I'm there.
Yeah, if next time, swipe his pint. Tell you.
I don't drink beer, so.
Well.
I do drink cider, but it's whether Lana drinks cider.
Well, we'll have to find. That was the worst thing. She told me after she didn't drink it.
Did she?
No, it was just for sure.
Good.
She was like, it was lager, wasn't it? I was like, yeah. She was like, I didn't drink it. Oh, what great stuff.
Well, she don't drink lager either. Oh, nice one.
I don't know whether
Also,
she just didn't
if
fancy
she
drinking
drinks
it out
it
of
or
that
not,
bloody
then
manky trophy.
so if she drinks it or not, then I might actually be in trouble with it then.
You might. There you go. You see.
So
what's
my
yours?
mixed tag match is I quite like mine because I think they're quite similar. Whereas the indie version and major, I actually think they're quite similar. I've gone for Alexis Falcon, and see, I had a choice of 2 tag team partners here. DDL, because they won the intergender tag team titles together. I had DDL, but I didn't go with DDL. I went with JJ Webb.
Yeah.
Falcon and JJ Webb, because those 2 together are just perfect.
I did want to fit JJ somewhere on my card, and I just couldn't.
He's
ace.
He's so good. I absolutely love JJ Webb.
He's got the gift of the gab, and that time when he spat chewing gum into Charlie's mouth was the one of the funniest things.
I remember he stole Charlie's glasses, put them down his pants, took them out, and gave them back. Oh, honestly, he's so good.
They have got such a funny love-hate relationship.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? They have.
Brilliant.
I've got those 2 versus The Miz and Maurice.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, I think they're very similar.
They're kind of connected, because obviously they took on Daniel Bryan and Brie at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So we've got a very similar sort of gimmick here, but I think the gimmick-wise, I think Alexis Falcon and JJ Webb are quite similar.
Because I think it's quite a similar dynamic in match, really, because I think that JJ and the Miz would be able to proper tear the house down, and then Alexis could carry Maurice.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Because Maurice is more of a diva. Although I'd like to think Maurice did improve.
Scrap a bit.
I like to think she improved.
Yeah, she's not Alexis Falcon, is she?
No, definitely not. For the time that Falcon's been wrestling, though, she's improved.
She's cracking.
She is amazing.
I commented on one of the things on Facebook the other day, just say every ounce of pro wrestler, no doubt about it, just cracking.
Definitely.
All round,
she's just
can
brilliant.
do the lot, and yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
and JJ he's a great wrestler, really easy to dislike heel because he's got that gift of the gab, and he's got his silly little bag.
He's a pure shithouse heel, isn't he?
Yeah, big time, and he's great.
Just brilliant. He's so good, absolutely.
And he's another one that's terrorized me when I've been working.
Yeah, that one doesn't surprise me at all.
Chucking water at me, putting t-shirts over my head. Just giving me jip in general.
I escape it because we were always sat with Charlie. I escape the.
Yeah, there you go. You see, I should start having Charlie as a JJ bodyguard.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's what it is. Like Charlie gets all of it, and everybody else is sound. So I just sit next to Charlie, and we're good. I have one person I didn't manage to get in on this, who I would have loved to get in, is Molly Spartan, and I did once make the mistake of telling her to calm down. Don't do that.
Love it.
Don't do that.
Love it. I told Dee to calm down. Actually, I told Zach Gibson to calm down in a mocking Scouse voice. He just turned around and shot back, "Shut up, you weapon!" Loved it. I belly laughed. It was great.
Now you see, when I told Molly, you know Press Switch.
Yeah.
Future Shock Press Switch. It's got that ramp that just goes straight, and then it kind of goes down, doesn't it? You have to step down. Well, I was just to the left of it, just there, right next to it. And my monitor's gone weird. There we go. She had a steel chair, and she steps up, goes over, and just throws it down, so it just goes clatters on the ground, steps down, picks it back up, and I just go, calm down. And she just turns to me and goes, "This is me, calm." And she proceeds to, for the rest of the match, sit, open the chair up and sit there. So just like that for the entire match.
Brilliant.
Watch the match while edging further away from Molly. She's also someone that did try and get into this, but it was just I couldn't. There wasn't a feasible way of me getting her in. But yeah, Falcon and JJ versus the Miz and Maurice. I just feel that the dynamic wise, it would just be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a good one. Hardcore wise, I struggled because I thought about it and I was like, I don't know that many British hardcore wrestlers because I don't. When I was first when I was younger, I used to love a bit of hardcore wrestling, but past 10 years or so at least, I'm not bothered about it really. I'm more.
Yeah, I'm exactly
people
the
like,
same.
death matches are great. No, I hate them.
Don't think deathmatch wrestling is wrestling. I think it's just.
I don't want to see.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got its place, I'm sure, and it's got its fan base, which is rabid. But I don't want to see someone that's being paid 30 quid tops jump 40 feet through 3 plates of glass.
Exactly. I don't think
I'm
it's
like,
wrestling.
what are you doing with your life?
I don't like it. Don't like it.
30
Mine,
quid.
I think, is quite interesting.
Covered, pissing blood everywhere. 30 notes. Jesus. I mean, fair play. You've got to be committed for that, but it's not for me. So I went with a guy that I know does that, and I've seen him do that. But I also have seen just straight up wrestling as well, and I know can put on a cracking match. So I've gone for the Star Killer, Mr. Birch. He's a cracker. He can do the hardcore deathmatch stuff, but Birch, he's a cracker, and he can work, and he's done some really good stuff. He was PCW cruiserweight champ. He's had some. In fact, he might. Again, I'm trying to think all the way back to the start of lockdown, but he might still be the cruiserweight champ. I can't remember if he lost it, but he was really, really good.
You okay?
Yeah. But no, he's a cracking wrestler, and I just like watching him.
Fair play. I mean, I had difficulty with mine, but when it was the indie guy that I had difficulty with. But I thought of someone. I thought of someone, and I thought this is quirky, funny, and I'll get a reaction from you. I know.
But I went for Dave Butch anyway because he's really good, and I know that he does do a bit of the deathmatch hardcore style. So I thought fair play. For me, big time Charlie, I went for Dean Moxley because I know he can work that style, but he's also, he can put on a really good match as well. And if you get two people that can put on a really good match and can work the hardcore style, chuck in a bit of weaponry and a few props, and then you're gonna be on for something good, aren't you?
Yeah, he was the first person I had on mind, John Moxley. Yeah, he was the first one I had. Because he is Mr. Hardcore, isn't it?
Yeah, he is these days.
He's the guy you think of.
I know he's done all the CZW stuff and he can go really deathmatchy, but he's evolved past that and he's become a main event player, obviously.
Of course.
But I think he obviously still knows the hardcore style, and I think he now can work it into a match in a way that makes sense and can tell a really good story rather than just mindless violence. And I think that both of these guys would be able to do that.
Which I think a lot of hardcore matches and deathmatch matches become. I think death matches become just mindless, and that's why I don't like, because when I'm watching wrestling, I believe wrestling is art. I believe it's storytelling, and when you lose that, you lose the fans.
If you're trying to win a match, why will you stand there and let somebody staple a fiver to your forehead?
Exactly.
But you won't. You just be like, how's about you get off? How's about to take this opportunity to try and beat you up?
Exactly.
Are you faffing about with getting money out your pocket? I could just, anything goes. It's an hardcore match. I could just kick you in the balls, smash you in with a steel chair. Yeah. But no, I'm going to sit here and wait for you to staple a fiver to my head. Fuck off.
Exactly. Watch back to, say, Triple H and Mick Foley, Edge and Mick Foley. It was hardcore matches, but
yeah,
they had a story to tell.
Saturday? I think it was Saturday. It was 21 years on Saturday since Triple H, Cactus Jack, Hell in a Cell, No Way Out.
Yeah, what a match as well.
Fantastic.
What a match. It's an all-time classic. And always will be an all-time classic.
I prefer the one at the I prefer the Street Fight at the Royal Rumble, but
it's a tough one for me.
for
I'll have to
somebody,
watch
again,
them both
though,
again.
for somebody that doesn't, for somebody that now doesn't massively love that hardcore style so much, that Street Fight at the Royal Rumble still stands out as being one of, if not.
I love hardcore matches. I just hate deathmatch matches.
Yeah, that's. I think that's probably fair to say.
Hardcore matches still require storyline.
And the thing is, Mick Foley being slammed on a load of thumbtacks and messing around with barbed wire, it's like fair play. You're earning 5 figures.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting 30 quid for all this risk.
Yeah, he's actually getting enough money to pay
putting the life
for a lifestyle.
On the line,
exactly.
Putting the life on the line for a spot, and it's like you're getting 30 quid for it.
If you're in America, you're paying for that match.
Not for me.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's my cruiserweight anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you're hardcore.
No, that's my hardcore. My cruiserweight's next, isn't it?
My hardcore come for a triple threat.
Yeah. But we said we could have some shenanigans with this, although I've used my shenanigans elsewhere.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair that you offer that one. I've gone John Moxley, as said before, John Moxley, because of course, versus Pete Dunne, because I think him in a hardcore match, even in a singles with the whole digits breaking the digits thing.
Yeah.
I think seeing Pete Dunne in a hardcore match would be great.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
My third one will get you. Because it's got a little intergender.
All right, interesting.
Session Moth Martina.
Yeah, I could see that one.
You can see it, can't you?
Yeah, I could see that looking. Yeah.
I could just see her kind of like a Sandman roll coming out with a pint of beer.
Yeah.
I could just see it.
No, that'll work.
For someone I haven't properly seen live, in the future, she's one of the people I do plan on watching live because
depends on what you do with the gimmick, doesn't it? You can take it too far and she doesn't do anything, or you can work it in nicely to a match. But it just depends on what your story is that night, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the gimmick gives you a little bit of leeway in that respect, which can be quite cool.
Yeah, I think her gimmick lends itself perfectly to a hardcore match, even intergender, because I've got no problem with intergender wrestling. If they want to do it, let them.
As long as it's believable, it's fine by me.
Yeah, of course.
If Brie Bella goes out there and beats up Triple H, I'm gonna be like, mate, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Makes no sense.
Then we saw Ronda Rousey beat up Triple H. She's like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can believe that.
Exactly.
She's Ronda Rousey.
I can believe that. Yeah. As long as it's believable, yeah. But I have no problem with intergender wrestling. People say, if you ever see a woman beat up a man, it's emasculating. No, it's not. It's a story. It's a story.
Step in there with any of the female wrestlers and you probably get your ass kicked, pal.
Exactly. It's a storyline. Just let them be. Yeah. Plus, they're opting to do it. They're not forced into doing it. They want to do it. If they want to do it.
Exactly, and it's good, as long as it makes sense.
Yes.
Crack on,
Exactly, and I think
her
gimmick lends itself perfectly. Her gimmick lends itself perfectly to this, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'll go with that. I'd be all right for that. If that was on the card and I was a paying customer, I'd be like, yeah.
I think that could main event personally. Moxley, Pete Dunne, Session Moth. Yeah, definitely. I think could main event.
Yeah, probably could actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely brilliant. So as soon as she came up in my mind, because I was having a lot of trouble, I was struggling with the indie side of this one because I could not think of one indie wrestler that would be anywhere near a hardcore match. I was like,
Drew Parker. Drew Parker does good.
Well up on him personally.
He does a lot of deathmatch stuff. I've seen
probably why I'm not well up on him. I'm not well up on hardcore deathmatchy sort of stuff, so that's why I struggled with this.
I went to a Fight Club Pro show in Wolverhampton a couple of years ago with Lucy.
That's a track.
And it was a track. And they had like the House of Deathmatch 2 or something like that. And Drew Parker was in that with a few others.
Yeah, that's where another name. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was chatting actually to Trent afterwards. and Drew Parker walked past, just covered in blood, and Trent just shook his head and went, "I wouldn't have put them on, but they really, really wanted to do it. I'm hardly paying them much," and that was just drilled home for me. I don't understand that mindset. And fair play, they've got it, and they want to go out there and do that.
If they want to do it,
I wouldn't stop them doing it. But if it was my promotion, I'd be like, "No, I'm not having that.
Yeah,
it's not for me."
I'd be exactly the
if
same.
people like that and there's a market for it,
yeah,
fair play. But you won't catch me jumping 40 foot, taking a move through 4 plates of glass, balanced on steel chairs off a scaffold for 30 quid.
No,
I would want a lot more money than that. A lot more.
Yeah, same here. Triple, 4 digits, easy.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. Easy.
Because that's risking legitimate death. And I know that wrestling's dangerous, and wrestling you're risking arguably legitimate death every time you step into a ring, but not like that.
The risks go from there to significantly
exactly on a risk assessment that is bright red.
Yes, exactly. So I'm 100% in your corner with that. I have the same mindset as you. I think you and I think,
but I do still have a strange respect for the people that do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you won't get me.
I wouldn't go anywhere near it, but in my opinion, I think that's rather.
To have the balls to get up there on that scaffold and take that move, and not to be the one taking it's one thing, but I mean the guy giving it is one thing, but the guy taking it, you've got no control over that. To put your life in someone's hands like that and be cool with it, gotta have some balls for that.
You gotta have balls, but I just you know what, I'm good, thank you. If I was a wrestler, I'd just be there like, I'll wrestle, I'll go on your cards, just not that.
Yeah, no,
that one aside, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I do. There's some stuff I would do, but that is not one.
Cruiserweight match.
Well, this is where I've had my shenanigans. I've gone for a 4-way.
I'm interested here
because I really wanted to shoe on somebody into my card, and they weren't on it yet. So I've gone for Dean Allmark.
Oh yeah,
because he's just an absolute legend of the British scene, and I don't know technically if he's under 205, but he was the PCW Cruiserweight champion, so that'll do for me. I love watching Dino. He's such a great baby face. He's so good in the ring. He's an absolute, like I said, legend of the British scene. Been wrestling for All Star for many years. He's done. If Dino's on, I'm happy.
I know the name. Just haven't seen him.
Honestly, well worth checking out, and a lovely bloke to boot as well. And he's trained a lot. He's trained a lot of people as well.
Fair play.
So he's giving back to the business. Also in there, I've got Rey Mysterio, because he's Rey Mysterio, and I thought if you're having one legend in there from our side, let's have a legend from stateside. Let's have a bit of Rey. I'd crack on with that.
I didn't want to put him in for that reason.
But my reason was literally, if I'm putting Dino in, who's a legend of the British wrestling scene,
makes sense. It makes sense. Fair play.
I'm having Mysterio. Then I've gone for Tal Banham.
Because the dude
is just
mentioned him earlier.
He's just great. He makes me. I'll have a chat with him backstage, and he's really nice. And then he goes out there and he'll do his heel shtick, and I'm like, I hate him. He gets me going. He gets me riled up. He gets me marking out, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love that he can make me do that.
That's the sign of a great wrestler.
Yeah, I love that he can make me do that. And I thought I'd throw in a bit of Ricochet for shits and giggles, because it's crucial.
Why not? Because it's Ricochet.
Have some fun. Let's have some spots there.
I like that. I like
that. Perfect. For flowing through the air, he's perfect.
I mean, I feel a 4-way cruiserweight match, as long as it makes sense, of course, but the spots you could have. I mean, Rey Mysterio is just one of the best. He's one of the best.
I was thinking, what kind of feel in place, 1996 episode of Nitro midway through, and that just, I was like, that works.
Yeah, if there's
one cruiserweight match
WCW did well, it was cruiserweights.
Oh, there was a lot of things that WCW did well, but especially in that run, but cruiserweights was certainly
incredible.
The advent and the push of the cruiserweights was great.
It was just awesome. Like Rey is one of if everything. I think you could pretty much say the cruiserweight.
Yeah, I think
the guy when it comes to cruiserweights. He's the first person you think of,
You could
isn't
put
he?
Rey Mysterio in the conversation for greatest of all time. Full
Easy,
stop.
in my
Anyway,
opinion. Yeah,
he's in that conversation for me. Really is.
he draws, puts bums in seats.
Yeah.
Was never a good
Great,
champion, but he's always
great work
much
rate.
better at chasing.
Yeah, he was a great chaser, but he won championships, and that is all you need.
Yeah.
You know, he got that initial pop when he won the championship, brilliant, and
Yeah.
that's the key moment.
Unfortunately, the match got cut short by the Shawn Michaels Vince match, which I loved, by the way. Absolutely loved that match.
He didn't. Honestly, it didn't matter what happened in the match as long as you had the storyline chase.
It's still a great match though, because I still
and you had him at the end of the match with that title pointing up at the sky. That's all you needed.
So I still love that match. When you've got a match between Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and Kurt Angle, it's bound for greatness, regardless.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's bound for greatness.
3 that you can throw in that conversation. No doubt.
Yes, 3 of the greatest of all time. 3 of the greatest ever lace up a pair of boots.
Yeah, no, I'll go with that. So who's in your cruiserweight?
I've gone for a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I've gone for Sonny Durson.
Ah, yes.
Versus Johnny Gargano.
I mean, that'd be sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. I knew as soon as you said, do you want to throw in a cruiserweight match? I was like, because I was trying to find somewhere to throw Sonny.
I was trying to put Dino. I was trying to get Dino and Talon my card.
Yeah. It's like,
cruiserweight match. Yeah, there you go. That solves me Dino problem.
Because I knew you had something up your sleeve as soon as you brought up. As soon as you asked me, do you want to throw in a cruiserweight match? I was just like, first of all, yes, I can throw Sonny Durson in there. Second of all,
what are you thinking?
He's got something up his sleeve here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Sonny Durson versus Johnny Gargano. Because, in my opinion, yeah, Johnny, he had that lull where fans were like, okay, he isn't really winning matches against Ciampa. So fans started to turn on him and he had that lull. But in my opinion, right now, one of the best.
Yeah, no, he's cracking.
He is. He can do anything. Anything you want, he can do. He is that good. He's so cartoony, he's so goofy. And right now, the way with Indy Hartwell, they're just in Austin Theory, amazing. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. They're so goofy. And that Christmas segment where they went, we endorse you. We endorse indie wrestling. It's just perfect. It's so tongue in cheek, but they're so goofy.
But no, I think that'd be a really interesting match, actually. I think that'd be a really good one.
They can get the high flying in, but then you can get the technical side in as well. It's just yeah. I want to see it. I want it.
Yeah. Right, fair play. That's a cracker. That's a cracker. So it's main event time.
Main event time. See, you first.
Well, I wanted for my main event, I wanted heavyweights of a fashion. For me,
I've gone different. I've gone very different.
Fine. And I've gone with. I thought, you know what? Of heavyweights that are like, because it's kind of current based. Like, I was thinking, do I go for a Roman Reigns? Do I go for a, do I go for a Roman Reigns? Do I go for like a Miz? Do I go for a Drew? And I was like, I can't really go for a Drew. He's probably wrestled loads of guys on the British scene anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking myself.
And then I was like, oh, of course, Edge. So I've thrown Edge in because he's Edge and because he's been around for dog's years and he's just done his comeback and he is, without a shadow of a doubt, a main event player. And he kind of fit. And then I started thinking, well, who would I put with Edge? Who could I put with Edge from the British scene that I think could have a really good match, but also standing next to Edge wouldn't look like dwarfed and just, tiny. So, and I don't know height-wise, actually, where he measure up to Edge. But I think he might be seen as a bit of a curveball. But I've gone for Dylan Roberts. Because
I don't know too much about Dylan Roberts.
Dylan Roberts is great. He can play the heel card really well against the babyface Edge. And I know that Edge is a great heel, but
great face, great heel. Edge is more.
Yeah, Edge can do it all.
He can. Yeah.
I really, Dylan's he's a good worker, but he's a good big bumper. I like Dylan. I like the way he works, and I think he'd match up really well with Edge. And I'd love to see him take a spear.
Fair play.
Love to see Dylan get speared by Edge, and I don't know if you end up watching this, Dylan. Don't know how you feel about that. I think I suppose you'd love taking the Edge's spear, but yeah, I just think it'd be a really, really fun match to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have Dylan being accompanied to the ring by Alan Tasker, because I'd love to see him get speared as well. And I'm going to be in the crowd just shouting, Alan, because it just makes me laugh when I've had a few beers. So yeah, no, that'd be my main event of the night. I'd have Dylan Roberts taking on Edge. And if we do it in a few months, if we sort it out for a few months, for a couple of months down the line, then it could well be for the Universal Championship. And Dylan's
I hope.
Dylan had, again, before lockdown, Dylan had a championship that he was basically carrying around with him, like touring around with. Can't remember the brand name it had, but it was the catchweight championship. It was a cracking little gimmick thing he had going on. And he had his own ring announcer announcing it and things like that. It was really good fun. And
it's always good fun.
Maybe he could go title for title. I don't know, but yeah, he's got. And the other thing with Dylan is he's got brilliant theme music. He uses.
Well, always has.
Yeah, he uses. In fact, the first time he used it, because he wasn't using it at first. When I first saw Dylan wrestle, he wasn't using it, and he has this little sound clip. I don't know where he's got it from. This little sound clip goes, "Dylan, you son of a bitch," and then the intro to this tune comes in. As soon as I heard the intro to this tune kicking, I was like, "Oh yeah, great tune!" This, and I was like, "Hang on a minute, this was on my list." I was thinking about using this because I was still in training at the time. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to cross that off my list." Dylan's using it in GPW as well, but he uses "Change or Die" by Papa Roach.
I'd have to check that out.
It is like, honestly, it's got wrestling team written all over it.
Fair play.
It is brilliant. But
I
love a bit of Papa Roach, and that era, that after they stopped being as like rap metal-y and doing more kind of modern heavy hair metal kind of a vibe, and
you changed. Brilliant. Papa Roach, they have changed.
Yeah, definitely. And I see them as kind of a if Motley Crue were emo, Motley Crue were a bit emo, they'd be that era of Papa Roach. They would. And I've got a few of the albums,
That's an interesting
Metamorphosis, visual. And I think it's off Metamorphosis, that.
That's a very interesting visual. Like the Motley Crue is
honestly, look at Papa Roach from like the Metamorphosis, Paramore Sessions era, and tell me that it doesn't look like an emo Motley Crue.
It's definitely something I'm gonna have to check out.
Just telling you. But yeah, Dylan Roberts versus Edge to close my night.
Well, anything involving Edge, I'm sold. So
yeah,
I'm sold. I've not gone for that. I've gone for a little bit. We do have a cruiserweight match in, but I've still gone for a bit of a lightweight cruiserweight sort of feel to it. But the main eventers. I've gone for a triple threat to add one of each in one of WWE, AEW, Indies.
Ah, yeah, interesting. See, if I'd have gone triple threat, I'd have probably thrown in another British guy. So I wouldn't have minded getting James Mason on the card because he's a ledge.
Yeah, I wanted to go for to add one of each in. So I've gone for Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Pac. And usually with a triple threat like this, like John Cena, Edge, and Big Show, you have a big guy, don't you?
Yeah.
Two relatively decent, or either small or relatively average, and then you have a big guy.
Yeah.
So I've gone for a big guy, the biggest guy, the hugest guy, the henchiest guy.
I think I know where this is going.
Guns Joe.
Yes, Big Joe. What a ledge. Love seeing him on the network. Honestly, someone comment who obviously hadn't seen much of Big Guns Joe online saying, for a guy called Big Guns Joe, he's not very big, is he? I was like, You've clearly just not seen enough of Big Guns Joe to get what's going on here, are you?
Napoleon complex. It's
The thing is,
what
I
it
don't
is.
think I actually think
Ah.
that in an environment like what that Progress show was, Big Guns Joe suffers because there's no audience there. There's no crowd to give him
He's got a gimmick to give to. He
And I
does
tell you
need
now,
that give and take, doesn't he?
honestly, Joe, I have never come across somebody that does that back and forth with the crowd better than Big Joe.
Yeah.
He is absolutely phenomenal. I remember on This Is Wrestling show, a couple of mates came down to watch, and one of them had his girlfriend with him, and Big Joe was giving him a load of grief, and he was like, he went up to his girlfriend and was like, "Forget this dream, come to the gym with me." And my mate was like, "Who was that Joe guy?" And I was like, "Oh, Big Guns Joe." I'd tell him about him. He was like, "He's brilliant." Like he mugged me off a good one. Like he was just brilliant. He's got the gab in,
good.
and he really is. And the thing is, he's another one that's been doing this. He's been doing the thing with Nush, doing the getting massive, getting proper ripped.
PT, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm like, and I'm looking at it, and he's getting more and more shredded, and I'm like, you can't ruin your own gimmick here by getting
he's
too big.
genuinely huge. He genuinely is big now.
Like you'll have to scare Joe Smith.
So,
but he's the thing. Thankfully, he's still going to be the same height. So
yeah, he's not going to have gone too much over the lockdown.
I remember the first time I saw Big Joe, he was with the Bad Lads. He came out with the Bad Lads, and he was giving it, and he got announced as Big Joe, and we're all like, Big Joe, and then he started giving it the gab and arguing with the crowd, and there's nothing that pops me more than Big Joe or Big Guns Joe, whichever one he's going by in that, for that match, looking out at the crowd at somebody and shouting, "I'm massive!" Just always gets me, man. I always howl at that. I love it. I just love it. He's one of them. He's a very much an affectionate love to hate kind of a heel. I love it. So
he's so
and you can slap him anywhere on a card and he's still going to get a reaction. And he's great to put in an opening match because he will get the crowd going and he will get the crowd working. And if you put someone like Big Joe in the opening match, the rest of your card is going to benefit from that because the crowd will be alive.
Yes.
But you can also stick him in a main event and he'll do great things there as well. And he'll get that crowd
excited
going
to see him in the main event.
And I know that, and the other thing with Joe is one of my mates from school, actually, so in my year at school, Lindsay Sheeder, Dan Sheeder, the referee's sister.
Oh, okay.
And she's got a wee lad, James, great name. He's got autism, and they take it, but he loves going to wrestling shows, and he just loved Big Joe. He just connected with Big Joe, and he loved him. But and Lindsay got in touch with Big Joe through Facebook and told him, and Big Joe will go out of his way now to say hello, and I'm sure he sent him some stickers and bits and pieces.
Is that the lad? Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll comment on Lindsay's Facebook now when it's about him going.
I remember seeing Big Joe and he'll be like,
good stuff, and that's the mark of the man.
He goes the extra mile. He goes the extra mile just to ensure that you're having a good time, that you're happy, that you're doing well, because he just wants to see you happy. That's it.
And I knew, I knew Joe. I've worked on shows with Joe, and I knew he was a really nice guy. But then to see him going that extra mile for a young fan like that, I was just like, I was just like, dude, he's not my kid, he's my friend's kid, but man, it just got me right in the feels, man. Yeah, he just got me proper right in the feels.
He's just he's such a nice lad.
He is. He really is, and he's such a sweetheart. And then he goes out there and he's such a bugger.
it's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant.
I love it.
He's someone you love to take the piss out of.
And I love these little promos. I mean, they were probably about 3 or 4 years ago now, but where he'd accidentally end up in the cardio section of the gym. And he'd be like, oh, what am I doing here? Oh, and they were just so funny. They were just so funny.
Anything
He's
he
brilliant.
touches turns to gold, don't it?
Yeah, no doubt, and he's got a big future. He's got a big future ahead of him.
Yeah.
But he really does. He really
He's
does.
already, after a few years, already on progress. He's already on the
Yeah.
network, and he's just, again, 100% agree. So someone else who has a
I want to
bright
see him on the
future.
network though in a few months' time, where he's gonna be like be able to get that crowd reaction and get that crowd repertoire going on, because that's when people will see how good he really is.
Yeah,
It's not,
he's
he's good
held
in the
back a bit
ring,
without
but
a
it's
crowd.
almost he's good in the ring, but it's almost like the secondary part of his act, because his crowd work is so bloody good.
I agree, 100% agree, definitely. So that's our
Our
card.
cards, isn't it?
That's our cards.
That's a bit of fun. I'll tell you, you might have to split this into 2 episodes, because we have waffled, man.
We
have
have
gone on.
waffled, yeah.
You were like, oh, well, my longest one's with this. I was like, we'll smash that.
I think we've gone 2 hours here.
Oh, yeah, we easy.
2 hours and a half. Okay,
There
we've
you go.
gone 2 hours. We've definitely gone 2 hours. Split it into 2 for
Part 1, Part 2. You can have a week off next week then.
Let us know. Let us know. This will be.
Yeah, what you think of our cards? Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Should we do a poll? Should we do a poll to see which one's was better? I don't know. Let us know. See what you think. Is mine better? Is Jimmy's better? Let us know. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been good fun. I'm gonna respond to the missed calls and tell my girlfriend that I'm not dead.
Do you want to plug any of your socials while we're here?
Yeah, you can get me on Twitter at It's Jim Bailey. I'm It's Jim Bailey on Instagram as well. And I'm on TikTok, It's Jim Bailey, but I've not done anything with it for yonks. But there's a few sillies on there, and I do keep thinking, I'll do something with that, and I just keep forgetting. But feel free to follow me.
Again.
Yeah, feel free to follow me on all of those. To be honest, I've got some good feedback on some of my sillies that I did at the start of lockdown.
Oh yeah.
The one taking the dog for a walk. That's the one to watch. People seem to like that one. But yeah, follow me on the socials. You're very welcome. And you can see me at This Is Wrestling. And there's a couple of promotions going to be popping up in Bolton after lockdown. There's going to be Bolton Town Wrestling, and there's going to be First Past the Post Wrestling. And I will more than likely have some involvement somewhere along the line with those. And if I'm not on cards, you can see me at GPW and at PCW, usually getting sloshed in the crowd, having a good time.
There we go.
I'm always up for sale.
Watch this space. Please like, comment, and very much subscribe. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.